Welcome to That One Time with Adam Metwally, the podcast conversing the pillars of health, wealth, art, and wisdom for all you holistic hustlers out there. Today, I am with Robbie Bent, CEO and co-founder of Othership, and we're at the beautiful Music for a While studio, and we're going to get to know him over the next 10 minutes ahead of the full episode later this week. Robbie, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, man. You're high energy. I'm enjoying myself already.
You just wait. So who are you? What are you best known for? And for somebody who doesn't know you, why should they listen today?
Yeah, I'm only really known for Othership at this point. So as you mentioned, I'm the CEO and co-founder. We've recently launched in New York, which is how we met. We're opening a second unit in Brooklyn, and it's really bringing the first ever emotional wellness classes in a sauna and ice bath to the world.
Cool. So what is your weirdest wellness / biohacking experience you've done?
Yeah, so I have in my desk like a legitimate, sparkling water. Have you ever seen SodaStream? Yeah, it's like a carbonation device. So I have one of those attached to like a jerry-rigged oxygen mask, and it like legitimately mixes a high percentage of carbon dioxide into your oxygen. I don't even know if this is good for you, to be honest, but like I saw it, I was like, whoa, that's pretty captivating. And so I've been doing it placebo or not for like 9 months. And so during my meetings, like midday, I'll hammer on this oxygen mask. Or like, maybe not during a meeting, it's like a little too hardcore. It looks like Bane from Batman, but like I'll just hammer it on while I'm like working and breathe this like highly carbonated air for kind of 10 minutes, maybe 2 times a day. And my wife's like, you're crazy. Cause like whenever something good happens, she's like, you're just saying it's this mask. But I've noticed that like my focus has improved since I started using it. I haven't got sick. So whether it's placebo or not, I've now like enjoyed the ritual of breathing this like carbon dioxide air, but it's pretty out there.
So you're basically doing a nang. Do you know what a nang is?
You're thinking nitrous.
Yeah, it's
different than that, but
close. Yeah, that's so good. I've never heard of that. I got to look into that. What's one opinion that would make people either scratch their head or get angry in regards to cold plunges and sauna use?
Okay, there's one that came out recently. I'm thinking about like what to say here exactly. So something that came out recently that like women should only cold plunge at 50 degrees. And there was just no studies behind it, and like nothing quoted. It was just like, hey, if you're a woman, it's unsafe potentially to go below 50 degrees. And then it was taken really out of context by all the media saying like women shouldn't cold plunge, it's unhealthy. And we have, I think, the largest group of female cold plungers in the world, like over 100,000.
Wow.
And we've had like 500,000 journeys at our spaces, and we're always by invitation. We have different temperature tubs, and you say, hey, like you choose what your body works best. And like there's many women more so than men that can do the coldest tubs and enjoy that and like use it for stress. And so I think this idea that like cold is worse is just not really true. It's not backed by any evidence. And then from personally watching, like it depends also how you're feeling that day for a female, like your time cycle, all these different things. But like you can feel it when you go in and it's, 32, 34, 36, 38 degrees. It's like instant boost of dopamine, boost of norepinephrine, this feeling of like, I'm alive. And so it was irritating to see like this one person say this one thing, not quote any studies. And then all these people just be like messaging. Like I'm really available to the community. I'll talk to, we have multiple 600 person WhatsApp chats. I talk to all our customers. I like love it. I'm always trying to get feedback, and like probably like 100 people message me like, hey, is it not safe to cold plunge? I was like, yeah, it's safe. Like this is crazy. So
yeah, cool. We'll double click on that in the full episode because I really want to dig into that more. So what book has changed your life the most?
That's a tough one, but I think like as of recent, like what just popped in my mind is this podcast, Founders Podcast. And I just found myself talking about it. Like, I actually met with David last week at dinner in New York, and we spent like 5-hour dinner. It was so inspiring. And so when I'm down, I listen to that, and we're trying to build something. And so like I'm trying to learn mostly about building the thing. And so I'm listening to how did Four Seasons do it? How did In-N-Out do it? How did Trader Joe's do it? And every time I feel like it's so hard to do this, and like most of the time it's not working, running out of money. There's like some kind of like, complaints online, people reaching out, just things aren't going right. We haven't budgeted appropriately. And when I listen to this and hear these biographies of people, it's like, wow, this is for every single one. They almost failed many times and like they keep going. And so it's like so inspiring for me. It's actually changing how I run my business and live my life more so than any piece of content. I probably listened to 350 episodes, which I don't think I've done for like any other show ever. So it's like, it's not a book, but it's compilation
close.
of books that's really changed my life. So shout out to David. I think he's like one of the best in the game.
Yeah, he's great. I'd love to get him on the podcast one day. So I've emailed him a couple of times. And I've had the exact same experience of just going through the trenches and listening to that going, all right,
I can do it. I can do it, man.
Let's try again. If you could listen to one more song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay. So a song that's like meaningful to me is the song S.G. Lewis, Warm.
Yeah.
And it was in our very first like promo video. And so we started in this garage, and before his other ship, it was just called Inwards, just in the garage. And in the garage, we made this promo video and we like listened to the song, we put that song. And then because we listened to it so much around the promo video, my co-founders actually sang it for me at my wedding. So my sister-in-law, my co-founders, and my wife and I did our first dance to that song. So if I'm like, oh, what song creates an emotional reaction? That's probably the most meaningful.
What's a sub $100 purchase that you've made that's had a meaningful impact in your life?
I don't have a sub 100, but I got like a big one in case like,
sure,
doesn't matter. Like the first thing that came to mind is I like legit for 1 year I didn't even shave, and I had a beard like this long and like didn't get a haircut. My hair was this long and I looked like a full Gandalf. And like, I don't think when my son sees these pictures, he's going to be like, Dad, like what was wrong with you? You know? And so I had no style. I would just wear same sweatpants every day. Didn't care at all.
Were you depressed?
No, I just was working, and
Okay.
like I had a wife, and I just was like, yeah, I don't care. You know, I'm like all in on work, and like I don't need to. For some reason, in my head, it felt like foolish to like try to look good. It was like, oh, I live in San Francisco. It was like, that's a waste of time, you know? But when I was growing up, it was really important to me. And so this year I found a like personal stylist. I had her fly into Toronto, like do a closet clean out, made like a lookbook based on everything I wanted, put together all these things, actually took me shopping, told me what looks good, what I should wear. And I bought a whole closet full of stuff. Shout out, her name's like Style with Illy, but she's fucking awesome. And for the first time ever, like I have a closet of stuff with like a book of how you wear it. And it's got like 40 like looks, you know, so I can like pick and choose. And I just haven't had nice clothes in so long. So I shaved, cut my hair, and now I feel different, like actually good when I go out. I'm like, wow, like it feels, especially like she told me at 40 years old, I'm 41. Most people dress how they did in their 20s because that's when they were going out a lot and like picking stuff. And then you're 40, like you just wear what you did when you're 20.
Yeah.
And so she really helped me to like, you're competing against other 41-year-old men. Like, you know,
It's easy.
they're not wearing anything cool. So it was like, it felt really good to have like clothes. I was surprised at actually how much more confident it made me feel in myself, which was like really cool.
Yeah. And that exudes into the work that you do. So nice. I'm a big fan. Cool. New York's really changed the way that I've dealt with fashion. My like fashion's gone crazy in the last 2 years. I love it.
In what way?
Like so much better.
Yeah.
100 times better. And every year I spend here, it just like changes again.
Yes, people are cool.
Yeah, they are very cool. Cool and ahead of the trend. So I can be behind the trends here, and I can go back to Australia for Christmas and everyone's like, wow, I'm 2 years behind. Perfect. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, I'm gonna miss one, but there was three of them. It was from Obama. And so, yeah, whenever you ask these questions, they're all like recency, you know, it's just like what's on my mind. And so somebody had worked with Obama. I was at dinner with him. I'm like, what did you learn? He's like, oh, he came in and he said this quote, and I've remembered it to this day. And it was just, be kind, be patient, be fearless. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. So that's kind of on my mind of like, it's very easy to get angry when you're trying to build something spectacular and there's just so many people to deal with and so many problems. And so that one, like, be kind, resonates. And then be patient. I've really decided recently I want to do this for like 40, 50 years, like kind of the rest of my life. And I work with my wife and another couple and a best friend. There's 5 of us. And like building something in 5 years is basically fucking impossible. But if you zone out and try to do it over 30 to 40, you're not really competing with anyone.
Yeah.
You compound. So that's like, be patient and then be fearless. You know, we're about to sign another lease that's like double the size of Flatiron. And even coming to New York, like we had one working, I signed 3 leases and it was fucking hard, like really almost failed. And I just think when you jump, like the net appears and you have to go for it, or you just can't make it happen if you're not fearless.
Okay. I like that. What's one weird daily practice you swear by, even though people think it's strange?
I like, I don't know if it's even strange. And like all this stuff like was strange and now it's like legit, you know?
I think you've got one actually.
Well, I was like, okay, is there another one, you know? So I'm like a huge fan of mouth tape.
I love
it. That, I'm like, is that even weird anymore? But even I'll hit the nasal strip also. Same. And I find the two of them like improve sleep pretty significantly. And so it looks weird at night, like getting all you know, as I was with my friend and he's a huge biohacker and he's got like the nose strip, the you know, mouth tape, the blindfold, the earplugs.
It's me.
And he's just like, yo, dude, you remember we used to raw dog sleep, man? That's fucking crazy. Like, what? So I think it's kind of normal now to just like a mouth tape for sure. Like I'll bring it on vacation, you know, when I'm traveling. So I think it's impactful.
Yeah, same. I got so much to say here, but it's a rapid fire. So we'll come back to that. What advice do you wish you'd received and actually believed when you were 18?
Really cool one. Again, like recency bias, but I saw this post that like nobody's actually an adult. And I think it was from Chris Williamson. And he was saying like, you know, Steve Jobs, instead of getting pancreatic cancer, he tried to cure himself with carrot juice and just these crazy things about people. And it's like when you're 18, you think that older people have the answer and you think society knows what you should do. And the reality is there are actually no rules. And the older I've gotten, it's like, if you want to make something happen, you can make it happen, but you have to make it happen. And so I used to, like, when I started my career, I was like, oh, this person knows, they're ahead of me, I should get advice from them. And the longer I've been at work, the more important like gut feel and intuition has been. And so I've shifted from, I need to find the answer from someone who knows to like, what do I actually feel in my body? And I think if you know that when you're 18, that there are no rules and you can like make anything happen, like the whole world kind of opens up for you. Yeah.
Who's the most famous person's contact that you have and how did you get it?
I think, well, like the one that had the highest impact was Dana White.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big deal.
He came in, okay, and I didn't like know much about him, like about how like awesome he is. And he came in and he booked the whole space out 3 days, paid for it as well. Like, you know, a lot of celebrities will come in and ask for free, like paid premium rate, entire spa to himself. Came in with person for like an hour, tipped every single person $1,000, like so generous. And like really took care of the staff and made sure that like the cleaner, the front desk, everybody. And then I talked to him for a bit about our business and he was just like, I'm going to blow you up. And he did this amazing post about how Othership's the best spa in the world. And like on his main channel grid, never asked us for anything, just like wanted to help because he thought it was a good product.
That's great.
And I've like never seen that happen before. Like someone come in and treat us with like that kind of respect and just like love for being a small business. And that was big because like people I knew in grade 3, like elementary school, were like, yo, reaching out. I'm like on Facebook. I'm like,
yeah, you know, you've done something good when people reach out to you on Facebook.
So yeah, exactly. I'm like, what is happening here? So that was really cool. It was a pretty epic moment.
That's great. I love that. What's the strangest compliment you've ever received?
I was at an event last week, like a VC type event, and someone came up to me out of nowhere. He goes, hey man, this is both an insult and a compliment. Do you know you look like Walter Goggins? And I was like, I don't know who that is. Why is it an insult and why is it a compliment? And so it's apparently a character in White Lotus, which I haven't watched this season. So that I felt.
That guy?
I think like.
Surely not.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So, yeah, weird. But it was just weird because like it was a networking event and it was strange for someone to come and like single me out to say that.
Oh, that guy. The dude from Fallout.
Okay.
You know the ghoul?
I know who it is now. I saw the picture. Yeah.
My last question for the rapid fire is, what is the craziest story you've been a part of that makes you still go, wait, that happened?
Yeah. Okay. So I actually never told the story publicly, but I lived in Israel. So I moved out there when I was like at rock bottom and I was like, I just need to change my life. And so I was living in Toronto, struggling with drugs and alcohol, went out there to kind of like restart, ended up getting invited to a wedding, just start drinking and I like wouldn't be able to stop. So just drank a ton and I was struggling with money at the time. Grabbed one of the girls from the wedding, went to a nightclub, went from a nightclub to a restaurant, thought things were going well, went into the bathroom, got sick, drank too much, threw up, came back out, left my wallet on the table. The girl had left because I was like probably just fucked. Went outside to like, didn't really understand what was happening, fell asleep under a bench on like a main street in Tel Aviv, woke up the next morning, broad daylight, like sunshine going, alone and no wallet, no water, couldn't find anything. I didn't have a hotel because I was living like 30 minutes outside of Tel Aviv and like didn't know what to do. So I had to end up like walking to someone's house that I like kind of knew to knock on their door to like ask them for money and then having all my stuff shipped from Canada because I lost my credit cards and bank cards. And it was like, okay, you're alone in this foreign place where you don't speak the language and aren't Jewish, like, and have been left, and like, what are you doing with your life? So it was a pretty big wake up call that was almost a rock bottom. There's a few instances that are like kind of worse than that, but that was one with like, okay, like
figure it out.
Yeah. And so actually from that experience, I didn't want to fly home and like spend the money over Christmas. So I went to a Vipassana retreat, like a 10-day meditation retreat. And it was at that retreat that kind of kicked off everything, all these practices that became Othership. And so that, you know, if I had to think of like the genesis of where this started, it was probably that moment under the bench. Yeah.
Wow. Brilliant. Robbie, thank you. I'll see you on the other side.
Cool. Let's go.